Hi besties, it's Lisa. Long time no see. It is Sunday, March 2nd, 2025, and I have a lot of work today, so I thought I would take you along for a little day of my life as a Yale grad student in the economics department. My list today, in no particular order, is doing laundry and cleaning my room, working on 2 different research proposals that I'll tell you about later, and I want to get some kind of physical activity in. I technically did all my gym sessions for the week, but some of them I didn't finish, and I also didn't do my cardio. So I want to do either both of those or just the cardio. We'll see what I feel. But yeah, a couple words about my recent disappearance. I had a paper due at the end of January. I documented pretty heavily on this account how I was working on it, and after the paper was due, I basically crashed a little bit. I've been sleeping anywhere from a normal amount to like 13 hours a day, and my doctors don't know what's wrong. My psychiatrist doesn't know what's wrong. I'm not depressed. I don't feel like I'm overworked. My therapist thinks I'm burnt out. That's the TLDR. But yeah, because of that, I haven't been able to reliably make like very nice morning videos, and that kind of throws off my day when I wake up kind of late and then just have to go to class. So that's been why I've been absent. I do think it's starting to get a little bit better, but I'm also starting to get sick. So I don't know if you could tell by my voice, but I'm a little congested. I hope it's not bothering anyone watching this video, but I'm a little sick. So I'm hoping that it'll get better soon, especially with the weather and the days getting longer. But yeah, I hope to make these videos more regular now that I'm hopefully out of my weird February hump. Okay, here's the spread. It is not very pretty. I'm sorry. The eggs are runny, but I have some eggs, toast with butter, strawberries, and a sausage from Trader Joe's with a side of my wonderful Starbucks coffee, cold brew from a few days ago, which I will not waste and will finish. I haven't been counting my macros really the past couple months, and I probably won't until the summer when I need to prep for my competition in September. But yeah, so I have no idea what macros are, but I'm just trying to eat like higher protein and more fruits and veggies and things like that. I just put in a load of laundry, and now I'm working on my project for my history class. I have to submit a proposal to my professor as soon as possible about what I want to do for my final project. And for that, I'm proposing a project with Russia-China trade data from 1908 till 1926. What's interesting about this time period is that the Russian Revolution happened and the Russian Civil War happened. First, Chinese communists appeared and the Chinese Communist Party was formed. So lots of ideological changes happened in both countries, and my co-author and I are interested in the question of the transmission of the Russian Civil War to China. So how ideological change in Russia affected ideological positions in China. This is really cool because no one has really done, to my knowledge, a study of Russia-China trade in this time period and its effects on ideology. There's some history writings about how the Russian Revolution was exported in terms of people visiting Russia from China and coming back to China, bringing the ideology from Russia with them, and like this dissemination of ideology through like Chinese newspapers. There's some literature on that, but there's nothing really on like physically if the Russian Revolution came to China through like port cities, and if like activity near port cities was more revolutionary or in response to variations in the Russian Civil War. But yeah, the medium that we're tracking actually is books from Russian to China. We have a measure of the flow of books from those two countries, actually bilateral trade flows of books from both countries to each other. Right now, the idea is to exploit variation in publishing practices in the Soviet Union during this time to see if it affected the types of information that went into China. So for example, if port cities, there's 4 port cities we have in Russia, and if they're controlled by the Reds early on in the Russian Civil War, we're expecting them to export more communist ideology to China. But unfortunately we don't have all the names of the books that were exported, so we're doing a bunch of exercises to try to figure out the distribution of books in Russia during this time period and the distribution of Russian books in China during this time period. So it's a big exercise, but I think the question's super cool and it hasn't been done in economics and maybe not even history. Hi, I'm in my tiny kitchen. It's about 1:30 and I am a little behind schedule. I ran into some issues with the data that we have for the China-Russia project. Changing gears a little bit on one of the other primary sources that I'm supposed to look at. Anyway, that took a little bit to figure out. But now I'm making some lunch. I'm making salmon and pelmeni, which are like these Russian dumplings. Here, I can show you. I hope it's not too loud, but the salmon, I just put sriracha and honey on it, which is my easy marinade if I don't have lemon, which is what I prefer to put on my salmon. And then there's my pelmeni. I actually find that when I do more Russia-related work, I eat more Russian food, which is a somewhat interesting trend. Like, this happened to me when I was working my thesis in undergrad. I was eating like so much shashlik and like millet and buckwheat and stuff, like so much Russian food. And now all I want is like pelmeni and bread. Like, I feel very Russian. Okay, it's around 3:30. I'm going on a little walk to get a little smoothie. And I think this will be my cardio for the day and my walk outside for the day because I have so much to do. But yeah, like I said, my brain is completely cooked from this morning. I studied for like 5 hours. Yeah, so well-deserved break. And yeah, I'm a little sad I won't get more activity than this today, but I think I'll make up for it on other days of the week. So I'll see you when I get my smoothie. I got something fruity. I'm very happy. I think like going outside as a change of pace is always great, and that's something my dad used to tell me, like, just like if you get tired, change your task to something that you're not doing. So I feel like I got a little bit of sun, I got a little bit of fruit, and I'm very happy. So I'll see you at home. Hi friends, I'm back home and I'm about to start my second research project of the day. The project is something I have to present at our internal seminar on Thursday, and one of my advisors okayed it, but the other one hasn't heard of it yet, so I am trying to finish a write-up to send to her tonight so that tomorrow we could discuss it and we could see if I need to change anything major for the seminar on Thursday. I'm a little nervous because I haven't presented for a full 60-minute session before, and right now I think I have enough for maybe like 30 minutes to talk, but I'm hoping that other people ask questions and that that's all right for the purposes of the talk. In terms of the subject matter, I am exploiting two different data sources. I'm using a Civil War data set that I'm creating by reading this book and taking note of the battles and who wins, which side wins which battle, and the casualties. What I'm trying to capture with that data set is sort of the variation with time of each region, whether it's conquered by the Reds, the Whites, or another army. And the hypothesis I'm trying to set is that regions with earlier Red victories had a higher memory of the Civil War and more memories of the Red Army, and thus become pockets of more Red sentiment. And the way I'm trying to measure this Red sentiment is through these culture surveys that I have. I have a set of youth surveys from 1936, 1938. They're these surveys that ask, yes, about education and work experience and wages and all of that, but also a bunch of cultural information on which movies you've watched, which books you've read, and which items you own, like musical instruments or certain books. Or so from the book readership and the movie viewership, I want to construct a measure of how communist or how pro-party one person is. And to do this, I'm comparing these books against the syllabi of like the national curriculum from Russia at this time period, to see which books were not in the curriculum, and thus like would signify that you have more certain alignment if you read them or not. So I haven't finished that yet, and I haven't finished digitizing the data, which is why whatever I present on Thursday is going to be extremely preliminary. It's going to be like just some preliminary facts from the data. But yeah, big idea is linking variation in Civil War victories to levels of party sentiment in the 1930s. So yeah, I have to write that up for my professors tonight. So that's what I'll be working on for the next few hours. Okay, it's around 7. I'm almost done with what I want to send to my professor. I'm stuck on one concept. There's this one paper, or class of papers, by these two economists named Bizin and Verdier, and they have this conception of culture and the transmission of culture, and they're all theoretical papers. And I'm trying to understand where the model falls short if I'm trying to replace culture with ideology, so transmission of ideology between generations or between people. And yeah, I don't understand exactly how they're defining culture, so that's the problem I have right now. I do think that because a theoretical framework exists already for something very similar to ideology, I could, once I find what's different in this model, I can use this theoretical framework or even use this model in any work that I do on ideology, which is motivating but also frustrating since I don't have it right now. But yeah, I ordered a ramen soup online, so I'm gonna go pick it up. I'll film myself eating dinner with you, I guess, or I'll show you my food or something like that. I'll see you soon. This is my beautiful ramen bowl. I'm gonna pour the broth into the bowl and then have my nice little dinner. Okay, I'm still a little confused about the theoretical papers, but I don't think the answer is going to come to me tonight or in a matter of days. I think it's a very big question. If it's one that I want to if it's one that I want to pursue, I think it's going to take me a long time. But I just sent my professor a copy of the handout that I want to give on Thursday, and now I'm going to clean my room and probably start winding down for sleep. It's 8 p.m. Well, by the time everything's done, it might be like 9. Just closer to my bedtime. It's around 9 p.m. I'm getting ready for bed. I know it's really early, but I honestly am an early sleeper. I'm usually an early riser too, except for this past month I've been a late riser and an early sleeper. But honestly, just listening to my body and doing what it needs to do and hoping that I'll get better. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you stay tuned for more. Bye.